I think that's one of the things that's so interesting about this OG team is that I think a lot of the times when they do these creative strategies, there's no... It's not immediately obvious why they're picking the heroes that they are.
This Clink's pick, as the panel was kind of talking about, has not been picked in this tournament so far. Mid one is going to be using that hero to... I know you're a real fan of this hero, especially when he got changed back to... It's like the 5th time that Death Pact is his ultimate now. That's a bit of an exaggeration, but you kind of get the gist. They don't really have one of those like crazy combos where you eat an Enchantress creep, which I assume still works. So I would prefer that you be honest than actual just bullshit your way to an answer. You know, that's the beauty of you. I know. That's why I appreciate you. You know, when nobody else does, I truly do appreciate your honesty, SyndereN.
Oh,
if you don't know anything,
Celery is burning a lot.
Yep. That's 4 stacks of sticky napalm. Make that 5 as Celery's going to continue to get chased down by Seb, who's going to dive the tier 1 tower. So this will be a trade of sorts. But First Blood does go the way of Seb and OG.
And again, Celery is actually... Oh, I think this time there won't be a trade, Shannon. I think he's actually just flat out going to die.
That is a lot of damage. Another 5 stacks of sticky napalm.
At all. They seem a little unfamiliar with this lane matchup. They got... Did they both get sticky together 4 times in a row, I want to say?
Well, Shad still has 7 stacks, but I don't know if Seb can actually pursue this any further.
Oh, he's playing
With
break.
8 stacks, here it comes.
Oh my
More
goodness.
aggression from Soxa. That is an actual super easy kill once that many stacks are upon him. All right, good lord.
You know what the word is for this? That's disrespect. Yeah. If you don't start yielding to bat as a melee hero when you have 5 or 6 stacks and you start farming creeps, you're just not respecting the hero. Correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like most Svens this patch go to Mask of Madness, but Shad doesn't seem to be that big of a fan. Celery, oh, they missed the flame break, actually kicked him away. Just a mistake from Soxa there. I think he failed to drop a stone, and that probably saved Celery's life.
Based on the Nyx games that I've seen, it just feels like the hero falls off dramatically, especially if you don't have a good mana burn target throughout the duration of the game.
Yeah.
As bottom lane, Seb is just chasing Celery, 4 stacks of sticky napalm as a TP support is on the way. Shad gets off the Storm Hammer. There's the LSA connecting from Aramis, who's just TP'd in for support, but it's a 1-for-1. Viking will take that trade any day.
Soxa in the river.
Gets off the Dragon Slave silence shortly after those. Soxa's not going to be able to roll and connect. That could have been a setup for a kill with Thompson here. Thompson just waveforms in to Boom. So he's going to come from some support as well. Thompson does have that bottle. We'll be getting this DD rune. Looks like he's just going to go straight for the shotgun, the E-Blade. Yeah, it looks like OG has spotted this stack of Ancients here in Viking Triangle. We're going to ward it up with Soxa as well. Block things out, but that's obviously a Sven target, as Undying's going to die in the bot lane, but we're going to focus on this triangle for now, as Boom's going to get some help with Aramis with the LSA connecting onto Soxa, but very little mana for Boom to actually finish anybody off here, so Soxa rolls away to safety.
Let's keep in mind, it negated a lane dominator as well. You won the lane against Undying. That is half the hero's purpose, is winning this lane, and it failed. So, yeah, Sven's farm is alright, but your own game on Undying is not hot.
Top lane, we're going to see the Rupture for the first time this game into the Blood Right. It's going to be an easy kill onto mid one. So Clink's obviously a good target to be able to lock down like that. Like the Mask of Madness will help him farm Ancients a little bit easier, but he's farming decently well at the very least right now. He's just only going to amplify now that the Ancients are here. There we go. They have not dewarded this ward as of yet, but should be a freebie for them. Does require 3 of them to be in the vicinity though, just to make sure he can get this. More stacks to come as well. You're
also playing against Batrider, who really... You don't really want to jump into this hero. Not necessarily like, oh, wait a second. It's a really good roll.
Very nice flame break. He's going to get the lasso off as well. It's going to be an easy kill, but the question is, can OG get out before the rest of these reinforcements end up taking them down? Seb able to Firefly to the lower side of the map here, but Shad is there waiting. But again, he doesn't really have that much damage, and Seb is super fast. Toby does have Rupture. We'll be getting up. The TP is going to be there, and it's enough.
Boosting up that Carapace. It's the most valuable spell this game.
Yep, definitely prioritizing that. Mid one, by the way, picks up an Orchid. Was trying to get a kill with that. We'll talk about that in just a moment. As No-Tail's going to get Laguna Bladed. Does get the Spike Carapace off, which, again, Blood Right. And we'll get that Rupture, though, and brought down very shortly after with Okay, Zeus wants it.
Oh, he died.
All right, boom. You got it, buddy. So, Clinks is an interesting hero in terms of itemization, historically speaking. Orchid used to be a thing a long time. Okay, things could have changed by now. I haven't really seen him recently. Orchid used to be a very common thing for him a long time ago. But I want to say in his last iteration, it was rarely picked up. It was mostly just like a desolator into like Diffusal or something like that, as Toby is going to get destroyed. So talk to me about this Orchid on this iteration of Clinks, which is the super old version, I guess we could call it.
There's a lot of things that you need to keep going. It solves that problem, and it gives you solo kill potential. Again, fitting OG's strategy of catching heroes off. You want to buy the item that allows this Clinks to pose a solo kill threat. No-tail, Carapace.
Yeah, gets off the Vendetta as well, but there's Shad getting lassoed up and brought down immediately. A terrible loss there for Viking, but they're going to continue to fight, it looks like, as they're showing off the Orchid. A beautiful impale from No-Tail onto 2. Into the roll-in from Sox. It doesn't have his magnetize under 45 seconds. Then continuing the pressure with that Flame Break as the Blood Right's going to deal a little bit of damage. But in the meantime, 4 have died for Viking. OG are just running away with this. I don't want to call the game. It's not even remotely close, obviously, as Thompson does have the E-Blade, by the way. But this is looking like Viking from yesterday, where they're just... so far has not been that close, which is not what we saw in the group stage at all with this team.
And one of the things that's a common denominator in their games, in my opinion, is that they draft lineups that lack a little bit of play potential, right? They had 2 mid-Dooms yesterday and offlane Tides, and today they have a mid-Zeus and an offlane Bloodseeker. So what's your catch?
A bit unusual for like a lower bracket type game, but cool to see in terms of... Again, the game's not over yet, but see if they can transition away, but... Armis looks to be done, so another easy pickoff for OG, as looks like Thompson is going for Aghanim Scepter's second item. Yeah, I've seen the clip of him doing, was it him?
Oh, Shad.
Shad is going to get spotted out here. Double TP support coming. The E-Blade is going to be applied into the adaptive strike. No-Tail with another great impale. Looks like Shad's going to be able to get off his stun, but he lives to the day as OG is now on the retreat. Toby ends up getting off the Rupture. They do pick out the Undying, but Thompson able to clean up poor old Toby. So it's a 2-for-0 still, but they at least do not lose the Sven.
Yeah, surprised he lived there.
Yeah, I think they just lost vision in the trees. Seen the perma-stun combo between Sox and... Who was it? It was Thompson and somebody.
Oh, good Carapace.
All right.
Yeah, that's filthy.
All right. Good clean stuff.
I think this game has been run largely by Bat and Earth Spirit. They've just made so many moves. And
all right, well, No-Tail
is in trouble.
He is ruptured. Did mitigate a little bit of damage with the spike carapace, but is brought down eventually. Sox is going to de-ward here. Thompson still with the Aegis, so not really scared of anybody right now. And Viking is here in numbers. Meanwhile, OG kind of playing with their food, it looks like. Shad is going to pop that ult. They're going to take down Sox in quick succession. So 2-for-0. Sox really likes these heroes that have balls. Have you noticed that? Tusk. Earth Spirit. So there's another hero out there. There's the Zeus ult, but it's not going to be nearly enough to take anybody out. The Undying just melts. As that is the Deso reveal, I do believe, for mid one. So that ends up being a wasted Rupture, and we'll see if OG can capitalize on this. Toby's going to be caught out. No-Tail with the Vendetta. Has a spike carapace up and not really doing anything with that, but the Impale does connect, and again, Celery finds his way to the grave. Courtesy of your Morphling, and Armis looks to be next. OG are just completely dumpstering right now. There's the Earth Spirit Morphling combination being shown with that Aghanim Scepter.
Soxa and Thompson both want to play Earth Spirit every game, and they couldn't settle who played it. So they just made a strategy where they can both play it. So it's not just a flex pick, they're just picking it for both of them at the same time.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Great.
You know?
Yeah.
I would not put it past them at all.
It is such an insane hero for Morphling to turn into.
You're right about the rigidity. Is that a word? I think so. Rigidity of their drafts, and maybe it's something that has just been discovered about them based on their group stage. They had a lot of games to play, and they did really well. We're seeing some counters now. Initiation from OG is underway. Shad's going to get kicked away to the other side of the map, basically. Has his ultimate activated along with the BKB, so he's not going to be brought down quite yet. There's no casualties thus far as No-Tail Gonna get that spike carapace off, but the BKB is just gonna ignore literally every part about that. But in the meantime, this fight is quite segregated. Toby's gonna be the trade, so it's a 1-for-1 across the board, which at this stage of the game, better than you can expect for Viking. But Aegis is gone, and Roche, we'll see in about 20 seconds when he will be up. There's the initiation. Again, this is how many deaths are undying. Not to highlight this, but 1 in 10. It feels like he has died so many times. It's like the first to die in most of these engagements. There's the initiation from Seb, and Chad is in a lot of trouble, and by that I mean he's dead. Does not have buyback to speak of. They're just going to call it GG, as this game 1 was all OG.
Complete beatdown. And I want to, now that we've cast 3 games of Viking in a row, you and I think we want the same thing from them, right? We need to see something. I would love to see them pressure in the game.
Shadow Demon Doom is a better lane, but overall I'm not the biggest fan of this Doom on offlane overall. He doesn't pressure that hard, and I think this game might be a little bit easier for Viking.
Great save, but also a great illusion creator for one of the greatest illusion heroes in the game, Morphling. And then number 2, can we get my face off the screen, please? Enough with this fatness.
I would say Void is a more active carry than Sven, just because you at least have this cooldown that you try to use to set up your team for success once in a while, whereas we usually see Sven just being AFK for 15-20 minutes, just hitting
especially
beats. So
have a Midas every game.
I think it's a combination of the Morphling pairing and that they clearly have a bit of love for this Morph Eggs, and the other part is probably the team matchup. Shad, get that first blood. Not expecting that, but Aram is bottom with the Earth Spirit, so of course that 3-man gank will be successful. I think Shadow Demon is good against the hero. And I think even Doom is good against the hero just because you have percentage-based damage, you have, you know, the Doom. Dooming Axe is not necessarily bad. Yeah, he is definitely dead. They get that bounty run. But so absolutely with you, though. It's huge for Viking that they get off to a good start in Toby. He's had some rough games, man.
Soxa did get TP, though. But did force out
got the bottle refill out of that, too. Oh, solo kill. Toby solo killing mid 1. That's a really big kill.
Yeah, No Tail was charging from quite a ways away, but not able to get there in time. Still only level 2. But Toby, level 7 now. Top net worth by a long shot. 2 melee heroes against Axe. Not really a great matchup. Bottom lane in the meantime, Seb gets taken out by the triple pressure Viking lineup. So this is the second time around. This time they do get the Doom instead of the Shadow Demon. So Viking. It's bouncing back nicely.
It's just night and day.
They changed up their lineup quite a bit.
It's just night and day from game 1 to this, right? It really comes from the better laning matchups and the fact that they have this hero that can move. Aramis has made 3 out of their 4 kills with Earth Spirit. In this game, he's very easy to leave, and that is what Earth Spirit loves, right? We talked about the game with Earth Spirit Timber the other day. There's a charge here.
Yeah, a lot of damage being done with the Scorched Earth. Looks like Stellar's going to live a little bit longer, but finally goes down in the midst of the tier 1 tower. Seb taking heavy damage from the tower, but will survive through the day.
Like, he needs to try to solo kill the Sven in the tower against God Strength, or he doesn't really die. Sven plus Spirit Breaker can't kill him. Shadow Demon plus Sven can't kill him.
Is dead. Laguna Blade not even needed for this kill. I don't think Boom has even used this spell. So
4 heroes. It's a good kill, though.
Yeah, it was quite an investment.
I know that's also what he was behind minute 5, but relatively speaking, that is not a bad score for Morph right now. That's honestly very solid.
Toby's in another precarious spot potentially as Seb is TPing in with the No Tail charge coming through. Big One's even gonna pop his ult, and there's the Doom expended just for this Axe killing. Remember, this is top net worth hero in the game right now. See if Armis and company can get this deny. Looks like they might be able to. It should be fine.
To account for Vanguard
correctly. Okay. Oh, he takes out. Very unfortunate. Seb with that Scorched Earth. Looks like it'll pay with his life, but probably worth it considering the net worth advantage we have here. The charge is going to connect in mid. LSA does go off as well, but the damage is done, and Thompson trying to continue to finish this kill. Gets the vision at the last moment, and Thompson looks like he's back in the game now as right clicks commence on the Armis. Away they go for now. Mid one doesn't have ult for another 20 seconds. Wouldn't be surprised if they actually aggressively had it, but there's Armis rolls in. He gets the magnetize off. No-Tail's going to charge in to try to help him out. Boom is here as well. Laguna Blade finally used to take out mid one Sven. In the meantime, the call is going to connect onto Sox and chop down to the ground. No-Tail looks to be next on the list. So a nice rotation here from Viking as they take out 3 heroes in quick succession.
Very nice.
But in the meantime, Thompson, at the very least, doing some damage in the mid tier 1.
Yeah, that's still well worth it if they don't lose the tower. They're going to TP in the Faceless Void. He's probably going to be able to defend this. Maybe? Yes. Chrono!
Ooh, all right. Chrono Spirit into the Mortimer's Kisses, into the LSA with a waveform and a strength morph just in time. Looks like he shall survive this.
At the very least for Viking, they got the kills bottom. They defend their mid tier 1 tower. Would have been awesome if they got that Void kill. Or sorry, the morph kill with the Void Chrono.
He actually delayed the Nether Strike, so able to get off the Yules just in time to cancel that. Looks like Seb is just chasing down Armis. We're going to assume he's going to get that kill. In the meantime, No-Tail and Thompson end up teaming up to take out Boom, a very important kill. And now the Stormhammer is going to connect on Toby into the LSA that's been stolen from Thompson, into the charge. They just have so many disabled. Gets off the call that'll help mitigate a lot of damage, but Viking just getting overrun in this tier 1 tower. It looks like it'll finally go the way of OG. Fortification is popped though. Not sure if they can actually defend. There's no Blink Dagger yet on Toby. Is it being delivered perhaps? I feel like he should have a lot more gold in this.
There's something coming, yep. I think the primary difference is Void with Mask of Madness is not able to farm Ancients nearly as effective as
Thompson getting completely surrounded by 4 members of Viking. Looks like he's going to be brought down just barely. Took so much effort to bring him down. And now they know that Toby has the blink, so Seth playing very, very safe. But it looks like Sox is going to be one that's found. The blink into the call, but Thompson's here as well to try to do as much damage as he can. Mid 1, looks like he's going to burst down for Armis to help with No-Tail's ultimate. Meantime, Chronosphere onto 2 heroes into the Mortimer's Kissers again. Thompson should be fine, but Sven, mid 1, in a lot of trouble. Call's not going to be there, but they're going to kill nonetheless. So it's a 2-for-1 advantage Viking thus far. Laguna Blade applied to Thompson. His agility morph right now is going to wait for him to safety, but by safety I mean 2 feet away from these melee heroes, which is just enough space apparently to get away just fine here. That abuse, I'm just going to call it an abuse of the morph center, which will probably be not very short.
They have Doom ready. Shad was not expecting that. Oh no, he didn't account for the Doom.
Looks like he'll take out Toby with that waveform, and yeah, the Doom applies to Shad. That is more than enough. So Viking caught off guard despite having the advantage early. It looks like Celery's going to get taken out. The triple kill for Thompson, who is just living on the edge constantly in these fights.
I think they lost track of cooldowns. The Void was definitely not expecting to be doomed there. Just out of position. First dead.
Thompson, maybe not. Earth Spirit. LSA is actually going to miss, but the right click should be enough for Thompson to get the kill. That's supporting them form in mid 1 and No-Tail. Mid 1 has a Stormhammer available. Laguna Blade applied, but Thompson is just fine. Look at that triple charge into the Stormhammer as well. Boom is going to be next on the list. Toby able to get 2 inside the call, but No-Tail more than enough damage again. And it looks like OG are starting to take over this game very slowly but surely. The aggression just continues. Not going to dive past that tier 2 this time around though.
5 all mid Earth Spirit on his time off. Oh, Chad has Chrono.
Gets off the time dilation. Nether Strike will connect. Stormhammer on the way. It's actually going to stun after the Chrono Spirit has already been applied. There's the Mortimer's Kick is enough to take out No-Tail. But now the mid 1 company teaming up to take out Aramis. Going very slowly, but they finally get the kill. A 1-for-1 to start things out as Seb forced away the Luna Blade already used. Toby has the blink call available. Still has not finished Blade Mail. He had this queued up like 5 minutes ago. It's really surprising. There's been so much aggression here, I suppose. Non-stop fighting. Looks like Sox is going to be taken out. Chop by the old axe. That'll break up this fight. So a 2-for-1. King advantage. In terms of the carry perspective, Void. So we talked about the Midas, but now a very defensive build in There's the jump in from Toby. All connected to the LSA. Looks like they'll have enough to take him out, but will the counter initiation be here? Seb gets the Doom off onto Boom, but he gets Cookie pretty much immediately. Thompson just blows up Snapfire, who buys back into the game instantly. Nether Strike now onto Doom. Looks like he's going to fall one way or the other. And now with the ultimate from mid 1, they're just starting to shred these kids left and right. As Chronosphere is applied, it only is to 1, but it is Doom with that ultimate from Snapfire, so the buyback being worth it to some degree. But now Celery's going to get dive back here if he's not careful. Thompson into Earth Spirit. Celery hiding under the midst of the tier 2 tower. So it's a 2 for 4 if you want to count that buyback.
It's just not there yet.
This is another thing, Cinder, with this Lincoln. I mean, you have Spirit Breakers who can break it globally. So he's going to jump in with that blade now and apply all his pressure to the stock. Meantime, Lina destroyed. Basically has the support items at this point in the game as Toby continuing on, gets off that call, but dies shortly after. A double kill from mid one as OG starting to run away with this fight. Topson turns into Void. So he has that time dilation available.
That is the only reason.
Void has a good taunt too. Be real.
He does. But that is also an only reason. 8k lead for OG out of nothing. This game was really even for 15 minutes. And they have just absolutely crushed them. And there's a couple of key parts to that. Doom got his dagger, Sven got his BKB. Actually, he hasn't even used that, so never mind. He hasn't even needed to. And the Morph E-Blade opens up the fight so easily for them. It's the Vessel there. It is now.
Yeah, they have so many Lincoln
there's an
breakers.
Aegis.
It's crazy. It is crazy how many times they can take this off on. No tail. Gonna charge in. Looks like he will live through the day. Enough damage from OG to take out. As Boom looks to next on the ledge here. Yeah, just the right clicks enough. Oh, nice call from Toby's gonna help his teammates survive just a little bit longer. The Chronosphere onto 2, his mid one's on the outside, gets a nice storm hammer, keeping everybody in place, and the right clicks will commence. Toby, one more call for the road. But just like that, it's a 2 for 1. Mid one staying alive with his BKB. Looks like he'll finally take out to that Magnetize. Seb in the top lane. Gonna get off the Scorcher.
In trouble.
Has the very critical strike pack leader ore, but it's not gonna help here with that blade mail. That's gonna be more than enough damage as Toby with the blade mail just shredding his face. You know what that looks to be next, so Viking getting a couple nice pickoffs here.
They were ready that time. They were definitely ready. They know what OG wants to do on the map now, that they want to make these split jumps where they connect with Spirit Breaker.
They actually think somebody's in the trees, but they will be sadly disappointed in finding nothing. As Topson, he's going to get called to start things out. Sokka has to save if he wants. Great counter to act as always. Creates this extra illusion to have that passive counter helix. Shadow Demon's going to be the first to die here. LSA will connect onto No Tail, so no more charges to come for him. So a 2 for nothing as OG looks like they still want to fight. I mean, their cores are still up. And there's the Doom from Seb. Topson's BKB to get Chrono pretty much immediately. Topson just on the outside, enough to right click away. No Doom available. He does not have buyback either. And this fight is quickly turning in favor of Vikings. Shad. LSA is going to help him out. He's going to climb off the stinker, but there's the Aghanim Scepter from mid one, enough to take him out. And now he's going to continue to aggress despite having a severe disadvantage in numbers. Mid one going to get called now. This is a Toby buyback. And with that, Mortimer's Kisses that was definitely not needed. But at this stage, you take what you can get. Topson does get away.
Some cares.
And,
okay, they care.
Yeah, he's just going to D-ward to start things out. The charge again, this time from Topson, who has the Ag version of that. He's going to try to burst down Lina, but the Cookie's going to keep him safe and Shad with the Chronosphere. But look at the strength more from Topson. It's more than enough to stay alive through this engagement. As Boom on just the outside. But Topson still getting right click down. Better be careful. Will fall in the end, so it's a 1 for 1 advantage Viking to start things out. But Celery getting chased down by OG. Seb is so freaking tanky right now as Notel's going to continue to charge with the buyback out of the Snapfire. Second buyback of the game, in fact, is Toby under the tier 2 tower. Just going to get storm hammered. Still relatively healthy for now, but Aramis gets storm hammered from afar. The Superman in play again for mid one. So a 3 for 1 with the buyback. If OG can get out, this is a definite advantage despite losing their Morphling. But there's Toby again with a nice call onto the neutral camps. As Seb might be the sacrificial land, but we've seen this before. The goal wants to continue in. Good Lord, how did they avoid so instantly? Was that a soul catcher? Jesus.
5 poison stacks and soul catcher.
That will fall in the end, but advantage OG in terms of numbers. 4 dead for Viking, and the next to fall as well. This is a dieback onto Celery. Oh, wow. And we talked about this before with Viking in the series yesterday, SyndereN. They gave up so many Roches and it just spelled their doom.
Yeah.
No pun intended, because they did have Doom on their team as well. But
Seb.
speaking of which, yes,
He has
buyback. Get called. Blade mail to start, but a nice save. And that's actually
so many spells.
Kisses. BKB pop by Seb now as the jump in from mid one is there into the charge from No Tail. Can barely tell the difference. The Nether Strike into the Doom is enough to kill Shad, and that is a huge pickoff for OG. As they're not just going to try to clean things up. Toby's going to be next. As this fight has segregated completely. 3 dead in the blink of an eye. Armin. This is going to be an easy Roche for OG, Aegis, and Cheese.
down, and as soon as that Void Lincolns got popped, I just knew that fight was... They obviously don't need to doom Axe if he's already caught, so they pop the Lincolns on Void easily, they doom him, and that fight is just... They're just in the dust immediately. The fight's just lost from 2 seconds in. And that's 2 lanes of Rex.
It's going to be a double Rex. They cannot go for Mega.
Thompson, he will get Scotty.
Boy. Oh boy! You're probably Shad gets doomed. The Lincoln's already popped, despite the BKB being activated. He is donezo. No buyback to speak of, as this looks like the end of game 2 is coming. They cannot go for Megas quite yet. They can go for on the 3 are dead with a buyback onto the RMS Earth Spirit, but it matters not, my friend. GGs are called. OG again, convincing fashion. This Morphling, I feel like they just need to ban it, man.
They're not getting it. But what do you give then, right? Now you have to give away something else. If you want to ban that Morph, you can't solve it when the enemy team first pick Morph. You've gone through the iterations now, right?
I do think, again, it just looks like OG have a bit of an easier time. The only problem I could foresee would be if the Enigma isn't that valuable in the earlier engagements compared to something like that, like Mars or Legion that they banned out from Viking GG.
They're playing a little bit slower in their strategy. They've picked Enigma and an Omni Knight 5, so a bit less hyper aggression, but their late game is fierce in this as well. So start Crosswex Invoker, transition into Exhort later, and then you have that Cataclysm the panel talked about. But I really just want to see if I can really bring it to OG and not just let them farm.
You'll see an early TP from Soxa to the top lane, so they might be changing things up here. Perhaps we'll get a kill to start things out, though. Stormhammer onto 2, into the Shackle from Soxa. So Axe taking the brunt of this damage. The question is, can they actually finish him off? The right clicks from Soxa should be enough. I mean, he has one of the highest base damage of any of these like supports, maybe the highest actually.
It's a hero that plays on hyper aggression and can get overwhelmed. Already here, Celery is actually in an awkward spot. I think he's gonna die.
Oh, yep, Shackle into the Stormhammer again. Purification to follow, and Soxa expends the Ether Shock, whatever the hell you want to call it, to finish him off. So battle hungered here, but Decay to follow. As Celery just forcing them out for
Seb
now.
is 5
so,
stack bottom.
again, oh yeah.
A lot of damage, but no tails.
Purification there from No Tail, so nice TP support. Artemis takes heavy damage as a result, but looks like he will live, although the Eidolon's continuing to chase.
Oh my goodness.
That's actually going to be enough. Seb somehow gets the kill on Artemis.
Usually your damage isn't that your damage isn't that great. Void Spirit has a spell to ensure range creeps in the Resonant Pulse. Let's skill this now as well. Getting the Dissimulate out to avoid EMP. So I feel like this is a Void Spirit favored lane in the first few minutes. That's just how it's going to go most of the time. So I don't think Boom has like really underperformed here.
Snowball potential for an Axe. Soxa looking for a little setup here. This Ultis pop from mid 1. TP support is on the way, so Soxa and company are going to have to back out of here. Although Thompson has come for support as well. Aether Remnant will connect, but Toby gets off a nice call. Thompson in a bit of trouble. Has another Astro Step to use though. Looks like he will finally get the kill. That might cost him his own life. Indeed it will, so it's a 1 for 2 as Soxa fell as well. So mid 1 forced to back up. So Shad on the Void, pretty much, I mean, again, this is not unusual, but he's going Midas again. Every single game he goes Midas, doesn't matter what hero he plays, it feels like. Although he's only played 2 heroes, basically. As looks like Toby took a spill in the top lane. So Thompson's still in that vicinity, helping out that top lane quite a bit. But that leaves Boom with this siege creep do a lot of damage to this mid tier 1. As always, there is an Omni Knight to be able to dispel it if needed. They continue to chase here, but he looks like No Tail's gonna run right into both Boom and Celery. EMP goes off, No Tail. He's gonna be able to get the purification off, but Shad comes in with that bash. Tornado to fall actually connects on 2. Either way, will be enough to take out the Omni Knight.
There's nothing else threatening him. As long as Shad is bottom, I don't see any limit to how far Thompson can push.
Seb gets off the Malefice, and there's a Chrono onto 2. Purification did go off, so Seb's a little bit tankier than normal, but he's gonna just reside in his own death here, trying to create a little bit of space for No Tail to get away, but that will not happen as he is completely surrounded. So Viking again off to a good start.
You're killing the Omni again. I don't think he really cares that much. but it's the fact that you're playing 2 lanes and the other team's playing 3 lanes plus jungle on Sven. So economically, you're not really winning here unless you're finding big kills. Now this one could be huge.
Indeed. They get off the cold snap, and then Toby comes in with the call. They have enough damage to actually finish him off, though. Boom's going to have to go in Viz for now. That doesn't look like they have a detection, but finally mid one takes a tumble. It's going to cost the life of Toby, so it's a 1-for-1, but like you said, Viking will take that. Still has Shackle to work with. It's a tombstone in his place, but it looks like they'll be able to take it out. Although Soul Rip is available. Maybe they'll back out now as No-Tail's arrived. Time dilation goes up, but there's the GA to keep everybody nice and healthy. The tombstone taken out in quick succession. So nicely done while he was shackled, not able to get off the Soul Rip. Looks like he will be chased down eventually. Now on the bottom side of this map,
oh, he
like
missed.
The chase is continuing. Thompson EMP with 4 stacks of Shadow Poison right now.
Maybe not.
No-Tail is there. Purification. Like he will live through the day. Do they have detection for Boom? It doesn't look like it. So after all that, an Undying died.
I think somebody else needs to pack a dust here. No-Tail can't afford it. He's looking at 12-minute boots now. He really wants to finally get those. Soxa, Aramis is in trouble. They do have Invoker with good position.
More TPs though. They have to be careful. Mid one's gonna pop that ult, so God's Strength will provide the damage to take out Aramis on the high ground. Soxa, nice shackle. Boom. Doesn't have his Invis to work with anytime soon. As Seb is coming in, gets off the Midnight Pulse. Gonna be the cost of Soxa at the very least, but the Black Hole more than worth against Boom's Invoker.
Thompson is chasing
Thompson,
top. Very nice remnant.
More on the way as well. Aramis just gets taken out immediately. Shab with the Chronosphere into the Sunstrike. Not a very high level. It is a Colossal Wax, but Toby comes in with that Blink Dagger reveal into the Culling Blade, so it's a 1-for-1 to start things out, but No-Tail might be the sacrificial lamb. Again, the second chop. The chase, they want to continue, but they cannot close the gap in any way.
Wow. Shad did not get that.
Oh!
Wait, he doesn't have Black Hole.
Does get off. He does not have it. He was very scary, though, that's for sure, but Shad is taken out regardless. Toby looks to be next on the list as Thompson. Use that Astral Step to a high degree, but Shadow Demon able to save Toby for now, and they might be able to turn this, but the EMP will not connect on the top, surprisingly enough. Shackle will keep Celery in place, but it looks like mid one looking for other priority targets here. So that's 3 stacks of Shadow Poison applied. Question is, does OG want to continue on or not? Seb blinks away, so I'm guessing the answer to that question is no.
Just a lot of value there. I don't see the armor being incredibly impactful this game. You're against Invoker, yeah, No-Tail. Will you die again? Yes.
Oh, Seb jumps in with that Black Hole onto 2. No-Tail with, he already used the Purification, but here comes Thompson with that burst damage. Boom, do they have vision? Looks like they'll get him with that Astral, the
awesome
8th Remnant, I should say.
Super
2 for
good.
Nothing. No-Tail lives through the day. Seb, they get Heavenly Grace. Looks like Shad will at least finish off No-Tail, but the Guardian Angel is popped, but the Soul Rip is enough to finish him off. So Guardian Angel, unfortunately for OG, is wasted.
Oh, Shad's gonna farm here?
Himself.
Oh, never mind.
Chronosphere, he's gonna chrono both Undying. That's how worthless he is, apparently, according to Shad right now. But Soxa, so he's gonna get chopped down. But the initiation from Toby, and here comes mid one. The nice Stormhammer. The cleave is out of control. They're gonna be able to find 1, make it 2, and Celery should make it a clean 3.
Oh, they find Shad. There's Axe on Void Spirit.
Oh boy.
Double silence.
Yikes.
Oh, maybe not.
That'd
He has
be a
sticks.
Big kill. Yeah, he does get off the time dilation as well.
Now
There's the
Thompson
save.
is awkward.
Aramis
Awkwardly
be
placed.
able to do a lot of damage. Thompson just TP out in the face of danger.
Oh, the cold snap.
Oh, the cold snap from afar. Looks like Toby did end up going down to mid one in the end there, but Thompson, another Astral Step in 2 seconds, so it looks like he'll be fine as mid one just continues his rampage.
Dude, the amount of space, though. The fact that he doesn't die there and
Yeah.
forces double TP just makes this top place so easy.
AC is done for mid one. I believe you mentioned that. And obviously the Ags we saw already for Thompson. And Deso looks to be the choice here, but Seb taken out in the meantime. Nice, another smoke gank here from Viking. I think they're doing a pretty good job with that, but see if they can get away. As Thompson jumps in, the silence continues onto Aramis, but looks like he's going to live through the day. Gets up the Demonic Virgin in tow as well as Soxa gets the shackle onto Toby, but he's going to live for now as Thompson stuck inside the brunt of the damage. But the GA is going to save him. It does for now, and he just gets away with a sliver of HP going down to this Battle Hunger, but it's a relatively low level right now. So it looks like he will bottle through that. Mid one, gonna get some help from the 8th Remnant, but just in time, the time walk for Shad. Mid one, Creates enough space to dodge the EMP. The Stormhammer connects, but here's the counter initiation again from Toby with that Blade Mail, but there's Chronosphere now. Onto 2 heroes, just a sliver as Sasha runs right into it, but Shad does 0 damage on top of all that. And just like that, 3 have died in this engagement. And it's going to be 4 very shortly as the silence continues. They have no counter to this Resonant Pulse Ags. Now into a Roche. I think I did it before Void Spirit had it.
You did. So just gut feel. How good do you think? The amount of impact you have when you just collect this item on Void Spirit is absolutely insane. Look at the place he can pull off. He's literally jumping into 5 heroes and just killing them.
Yes. It's quite good, I will say.
Average play by Thompson with average item.
Toby gets off the call, looks like Seb will fall again, so Nigel will get that black hole, but it doesn't matter. Thompson's just destroying everybody. He doesn't even have the Deso yet. Finds both the Invoker and the Undying. Another Astral Step. I mean, just continues his rampage. A triple kill for Thompson. They're going to be able to turn this into a potential tier 2.
Thompson's literally 1v5 right now. Just want to point that out.
That's typical Thompson
Okay, now it's
style.
2v5.
Not able to finish off the Undying quite yet. He's already expended all his Astral Steps, so put himself in a precarious spot. In the meantime, Axe gets up a nice call. It's going to end up being a trade, 1-for-1, but again, Viking will take that.
Just any other player in the world do that.
In my opinion.
Yep.
My very humble opinion.
Everyone is allowed to have their opinion.
Nice, SyndereN.
Oh,
all right.
That's another
RMS
death.
Gets
Oh,
deleted
this is a
off the
big
map.
kill.
Oh, yes, and they still have the Stormhammer to work with. Although he uses Massive Madness, there's the Black Hole onto the Undying.
They got him.
Really hate that disgusting zombie. Either way, that's 3 dead. No buyback on the Void, so that should open up a set of bottom racks. The tier 3. Void is up in 15, has Chronosphere. Again, like with this build, very defensive. Blade Mail, sorry, Hand of Midas, Black King Bar, and 0 damage to work with. So this is going to be 2 racks as Celery gets destroyed. That is the Desolator Thompson now. Oh, the silence prevents Toby's Berserker's call. That is truly unfortunate.
Oh my
Undying, but Jesus,
God.
Void dead again. He just revived, young man. Jesus, get out of here. OG looking primed to take this series 3-0. Mid one still has the Aegis. I think he might consume it here. It's going to be close in terms of the timing. Toby gets a nice call onto 2, but only 2 remaining members of Viking are standing. Not for long, it looks like. Thompson
Oh, he missed?
goes into the fountain as per usual. GA a little bit late, might have been out of range as well, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
GG
GG.
is called, and wow, Vikings
Man.
lose 5 games in a row, Cinder. Kind of insane. I was not expecting this.
They didn't really stand a chance today. That's what it looked like. They actually just got flat out outclassed in every game.